Hello there and welcome to Screencasts Online. My name is Richard and today we're going to be looking at Excel for Mac and iOS Part 2. In Part 1 we looked at some basic features of Excel, including formatting text and messing around with some tables and charts. This time I thought we'd do something a little bit different and start off with the iOS functionality. So put on your seatbelts and let's get started. Previously, we created a tutorial showing some of the basic functionality of Excel on Mac and iOS. So I thought this time we might mix things up a little bit and start with iOS, have a little bit of a longer tutorial on the iPad section, and then we'll finish off with some Mac goodness towards the end of the screencast. So I have created a small table here, and it represents just a basic mark book that I would use in teaching. Along the first and second columns, you'll see I have first name and last name of the students. And in the third to fifth columns, I have some assignment work that I've set students to do. So some space homework, some tests, and a report that they've written. And each one of those numbers represents the percentage that each of those students has got in those particular assessment pieces. So Bob has done middling to fair. Dwayne has done particularly okay in his homework, but not so great on the test. Jean-Luc Picard obviously has done particularly good in his space homework, and I've not done particularly well in my Earth test. Let's format this a little bit before we start filtering down. So I'm going to highlight the first row by tapping on the number 1 in the row section on the left-hand side, and I'm going to tap on B for bold. The next thing I want to do is to give it borders all the way around to turn it into a table. So let's highlight the first cell, A1, and then click and drag out till I cover the whole table and let go. And then in the middle of the Home tab, you will see a borders button. Let's tap on that and let's choose all borders. So we put some borders around our table. Now we have our table set up manually, we might want to filter the information that is in this assignment list. So for example, we might want to sort by last name. We might want to filter out who's got higher than 50%. There's a lot of reasons why you might want to manipulate this data in order to simplify the view that you can see in front of you here. You can do that quite easily in Excel for iOS. I'm going to make sure that I've got the column B selected, and I'm going to go to the Data tab in the ribbon, and I can sort by ascending by tapping the leftmost button here. And you'll notice then that is sorted by ascending alphabetical, so Baker, Johnson, Picard, Smith, and Sue. If I wanted to do it from a numerical standpoint, I can tap in the C column, sort by ascending, and you'll notice then it changes the order so that the lowest percentage comes first from Mary Sue, all the way down to Jean-Luc, who got 95% in his space homework. You'd expect him to, really, wouldn't you? So that's an easy way to be able to change the view of data so that you can view things in a specific order. What is easier in some respects is if we turn this bunch of data into a table. And that's going to make our life a lot easier when it comes to manipulating the data within the table. So I'm going to tap on first name, and then I'm going to click and drag it out again so I bound that green line within the boxes, or rather within the cells. I'm going to go to the Insert tab, and I'm going to tap on Table, and you'll see what happens. What Excel has done here is that it has taken the data within the borders and it's turned it into a sortable table. Now you might be forgiven for thinking that it was already a table, but Excel has literally got no idea what the data represents until you tell it that it's an actual table. So now that we've turned it into a table, you'll notice that we have a new tab shown up in the ribbon, our Table tab. We can insert rows, we can delete rows, and we can change the style.
That's just a quick preview of one of this week's Apple-related tutorials from Screencasts Online. Screencasts Online is your premium source of Apple-related video tutorials. All of our members get access to brand new, up-to-date tutorials each week, as well as unlimited access to our entire video archive full of Mac and iOS-related tutorials. You can stream and download all of our videos on your Mac, iPad and iPhone, and even your Apple TV using the members-only Screencasts Online Apple TV app. Membership also includes a complimentary subscription to the digital Screencasts Online monthly magazine, published each month and packed with videos, articles, reviews, as well as hints and tips covering all aspects of the Mac, iPad, iPhone, and all of the other fantastic Apple products. So, if you're ready to start getting the most out of your Apple devices, visit screencastsonline.com today and become a Screencasts Online member.